Howdy, y'all. My name is Garrett Wareing.
And I'm Lizzy Greene.
And today we are with ODDA Magazine talking about
Ransom Canyon.
Now on Netflix.
So we're going to get real deep into the nitty gritty of how much we know each other.
I'm sorry.
I really apologize.
Do you want to start by playing our game?
Okay, yeah. So me and Garrett, as an icebreaker on set for some stuff, we would play a slap game.
Yeah.
That's how you get ready for our scene. Yeah. So go ahead. You go first. You go first.
I know, I'm about to go. I'm just getting ready. Yeah? Harder. There you go.
High five. Okay,
There we
now
go.
we're ready.
Okay. Lizzy?
Hi, Garrett. I'm pulling up my questions. Okay.
I think this is the coolest thing to be here with you right now. Like, genuinely, because you are my best friend.
Garrett.
And the fact that I get to share this moment with you is really special. I have worked with multiple Oscar winners, and I'm just flexing right now.
I know.
But this is a compliment to you because I can affirmatively say you are the best scene partner I've ever had.
Garrett.
And I love you so much.
Oh, I love you, Garrett. Thank you. It's really, I don't know how to follow that. That's very sweet.
Yeah, try to one-up me. Go ahead.
Okay.
How many Oscar winners you worked with?
None.
Yes. Until you win one.
Likewise.
Yeah. Cheers.
So let's segue.
Okay.
You have a blockbuster coming out.
Oh, already into this. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about Ransom Canyon
okay,
first.
sorry. Yeah.
So you were cast before I was cast, obviously. What was your auditioning process like to play Lauren Brigman?
So my audition scene, first off, was the scene of us in the car, or on top of the car.
Okay.
And I did this at the beginning of the actors' strike, and I did like a director session, and I was supposed to, I think we were all supposed to do chemistry reads after that, but the day that was supposed to happen, the strike happened, and so 6 or so months went by, no one knew if they had a job, and then the day the strike ended, they like called and they were like...
The day the strike ended?
Yeah, they were like, we're still doing it. I'm like, you want to be Lauren? I was like, yeah. And so from there, yeah, like within the week, I got on a call and I was put in front of Garrett.
How soon after you got the call that they wanted you part of the show did you read with me?
Days, like 4 days.
Okay, because it was the next day for me.
Yeah, so like 4 days went by and then I was like put on a little Zoom with like 5 guys. And
I was one of them?
You were one of them.
Okay.
And I think it was evidently clear from the beginning that you just had such a charm and such like a Lucas endearing vibe to you that just fit the character so well. And we bonded over Texas.
Yes.
We bonded over, I remember asking you, you had your Texas A&M water bottle there. To this day, he loses it weekly.
You keep it in your car locked for months.
No, I don't. You just leave it in my car and then he loses it and he thinks it's gone and then I just like give it back to him. But yeah, and I remember texting April and being like, loved Garrett. I thought Garrett was great.
So April, our showrunner, you texted her right after.
April, our showrunner, yes.
So when I got on the read with you, did you know in that moment that I was going to play Lucas? I
didn't know what they were,
what
I didn't know who they were going to shoot. I thought it was evidently clear.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember I literally texted your name. I said, loved Garrett. Garrett was great. I think he like embodies the spirit and just like overall kindness.
So from day one, you've had my back.
Yeah, one would say.
I love you. Funny enough, I did the same thing for Drew, who plays Reed in the show.
I remember,
So we've all had our backs since day one on this show, which I loved. Well, that's cool to hear. When I got on the call, my first impression of you was, who is this really cool blonde girl? And now I think, who is this blonde girl?
We're also both fake blondes, and so like.
Shut up, okay? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of blonde.
I mean,
what is this?
My attitude is also kind of blonde as well. Like
your attitude is bald.
Okay, all right. Let's segue. Actually, is it true you wore a hairpiece in the show?
We weren't supposed to bring that up, okay?
Sorry.
They cut my mullet off.
Explain that.
Episode 2. They cut my mullet off on accident. And there was at a point time a hairpiece in the show. Is it true that you broke your leg?
Yes. I did break my leg, and I took the most annoyingly insufferable, silly fall, and I took much better, cooler falls. But the worst one was the one where I broke my leg.
So you broke your leg because you were flopping around in prep to do cheer for the show, right?
Honing my craft, yes. I broke my leg, yeah.
Yeah, you broke
Being
it
a
more.
method actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because in the show you get injured, so you figured you might as well.
So I get injured. I actually break another bone in the show that
so-
is not my leg.
So you were actually injured in 2 places.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Figuratively in one, realistically in another. Yeah.
Okay, great. Anyways, segueing to what was your favorite scene to film with me?
We're basically together the
whole
entire
season,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, I think.
So that means I got to work with my best friend every day.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. I think, honestly, I think the most fun we had, or like maybe not you, because you were like in it, you were like in the thick of it, was
the day you saw my butt cheeks?
was the skinny dipping scene. Yeah.
Why are there tears in your eyes?
Because I'm trying not to laugh. No, it was really, it was.
Yeah, what about it was funny to you?
Okay, because it was like every time that we would do a take, we would then book it up this hill to.
I'm butt naked running up this hill, right? Yeah.
Like wrapped in a towel, but you were wearing proper covering.
Oh yeah, what was that, Lizzy? What was I wearing that scene, huh?
I'm just saying. So every take, we would book it up this hill.
Yeah, you're gonna go past that.
We're gonna.
I was wearing a sock.
Yes, he was wearing a sock, and so
not on my feet.
Yeah. So, but they had a inflatable hot tub for Garrett because the water was how cold?
It was very cold.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and so the most fun of that day, I think, was us just running up and down that hill, and then like if we
hopping in the hot tub.
Yeah.
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 That was sweet. You were fiercely protective over my naked body that day, and I'm so thankful.
Why do you have to say it like that? No, here's the thing. It was freezing weather that day.
Yes.
The water was insane. I remember sticking my hand in it and being like, "There's no way," because originally in the original script we were both supposed to skinny dip, but I said. I will not be naked, and so I did not end up skinny dipping.
So you sent me to the
like,
dogs. Yeah, you sent me to the lion's den.
Basically, yeah. Which we're gonna segue. Is it true that they glued your butt cheeks together?
Is it true that your favorite food is bird food?
What? What? Answer the question.
There was a topic of conversation where they considered gluing my butt cheeks together.
They had a meeting in his trailer, and the glue was in hand. They were ready to do it.
Oh.
The intimacy coordinator thought it would be a good idea. Garrett shot it down.
Yeah, I said I'd really like it if you didn't glue my butt cheeks
together. Yes.
Has anybody ever come to you with that proposition?
No, I've never put myself in a situation where I think that would like.
So you're saying I put myself in
I didn't say put yourself in this situation, no.
Anyways, it was a very fun day on set with you that day, and I hope that audiences like episode 6.
What was your favorite day on set?
My favorite day on set,
favorite memory?
My favorite moment with you, or my favorite scene to film with you?
Both.
So which ones?
Do favorite scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene to actually film with you, believe it or not, might have been the scene where we're kind of having a bit of a disagreement in episode 10, I believe, when we're sitting on the blue mat. There's the big Texas flag behind us.
Yes. Us Texas kids.
Yeah. But it wasn't necessarily about the scene that we were filming, but I think what we had accomplished together.
The cumulative, yes, I feel the same way. Yeah.
And that was actually the last scene that we filmed together in the whole show that had dialogue. And so to sit there with you 6 months in, episode 10, finishing the show with my best friend, and just getting to do that one last time.
Yeah.
That's what meant the most to me.
Very sweet. It was very sweet. Yeah. And it was such a quick nothing. I don't want to say it's a nothing
no, it was
scene,
a nothing
but it's
scene.
just
It
like
really
a
was.
20-second.
We sat down. We did it. We got it done, and that holds so much emotional weight to me because of the sense of accomplishment that I felt sitting there with you.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that moment. Blizzard.
Oh, Garrett.
How about episode 2, outside of the banquet hall?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Lizzy,
wow.
Lizzy,
we need to talk about this.
Lizzy.
No, don't say it. Don't, no,
Lizzy.
no.
We've kissed.
No. So this scene in episode 2.
It's a beautiful scene.
It's a very sweet scene. It was the first scene we ever kissed in the show, where they the way that we shot it, because if you know film, you always shoot out of order, and that was the first time we had ever had to do that in the show. Even though we kissed in episode 1, we just shot it out of order. Yeah. But we were profusely sweating because everything about it was just wrong. It was like we called our co-star Jack, and we were on FaceTime, and we were just like singing Macklemore, and we were like,
what do we do?
Tears in our eyes. We're like, we don't want to do this. It was so terrifying and so awful. I remember this went on for hours, and it was like they were just
the last
setting up
shot of the day.
and they were like, oh, we're gonna reblock it. It was just agonizing.
So you're saying it was agonizing to kiss me?
Yeah. You wouldn't say the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like.
Anyways, so that was a cool scene. I remember watching that with you after the fact, and losing
oh my
our
gosh,
minds.
yes.
But let me say this though. I black out between action and cut every time. I completely black out. Yeah. I, Garrett, have no recollection of what we shoot ever.
Until we watched it.
Until I watched it.
We were like, wait, we had completely forgotten about entire scenes.
Yeah. Do you think that goes back to the fact that we're playing somebody else and we're playing characters with other lives?
Yeah, I think it's also just like you're so in the thick of it, like when everyone is there and there's like accumulation of all of these, like, there's all these crew members and everything. It's like you have no choice but to just be in it. You have no choice but to exactly think, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is like, I'm totally with you on that.
I will say, after watching, the first season, I am so impressed with you. Like the way that you are so captivating and so raw and honest and emotional in these moments, big and small. And I think it is such a beautiful performance to get to watch, not only as an audience member, not only as your co-star, but also as your friend.
Thanks,
and I feel elated and the luckiest guy in the world to be able to act opposite you and share a scene with you, because you make me better just by proxy. And I'm so thankful.
That's so very sweet. That's so very sweet. And also, like, first off, I didn't remember how many scenes that you and Drew have together in the show.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point in time, our storylines, I started dealing with stuff with my parents. You start dealing with stuff with Reed and that storyline. And so I think watching you two as well, I think you guys' dynamic is so, you both bring out such like a fire within each other.
Thank
you.
I
think it's like, I forget, like I completely forgot. I'm like, oh, these are my two best friends I'm watching right now. Like I truly was just seated back watching.
Where do you think that kind of truth comes from within your performance? How do you think that you were able to convey such a strong performance in that world?
I don't know. I think there's like I think even though my character is a little bit conflicted throughout the show with like boys, with her, family life, with everything. And I think that feeling conflicted and feeling like at a war with yourself is kind of a universal feeling. I feel like everyone has that in some way or another in their life. And I think that being able to tap into that, especially like, being a kid from Texas, wanting to be an actor, like there's such a, there's a parallel
dream,
there. Yeah, and there's also a parallel there with like, how she wants to go be a cheerleader and like go do bigger, better things. And then she also like loves art and she wants to do that. And so I think that like that feeling of like wanting to like burst out is just kind of, I think everyone has like a bit of that. But I wanna real quick.
Okay.
I think, well, first off, tell me about Cowboy Camp. Tell me about how it was learning about like how to deal with horses, because they didn't just like say go ride horses.
No.
It was like you learned how to feed these horses. You
do
learned how to like
take care
saddle
of
them up. Like you also like
learn how to
formed a
ride.
little bond. What was your horse's name?
Boone.
Boone.
Boone. I love Boone.
He got a tattoo of his horse on Ransom.
I love that boy.
On his
We're
leg
bonded.
sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lucas in many ways represents the cowboy that I always wanted to be. Growing up in Texas, as you know, and like the kind of like idealistic boy next door, all American kid, you know.
Yeah.
And so when I got this part, it was a no brainer that I wanted to live in this world. And so to be able to ride horses, to be able to skinny dip and mud wrestle and dive into that.
When would you ever do that any other time?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
So it was a no-brainer, and then we got to New Mexico to begin shooting on the Netflix lot, and they sent the boys and also you.
Yeah, I don't
Cowboy
ride in
Camp.
the show. I wish I did, but I think they just sent us all for bonding.
It was Minka, it was Mar, it was you, Owen, Josh, Jack, Drew, me.
Everyone got their share.
Everybody, and so we got to go and ride horses 3 hours every day for 2 months in prep to start being the cowboys that our characters are in the show. Jack was doing bull riding, I was doing wrangling and the roping.
And you became incredible at lassoing.
Thank you.
By the way, they will see, I'm sure you're going to post videos if you've not, you've already been posting videos, but like if y'all haven't seen, you need to go to you need to go to his Instagram because he's like, I think you could compete. Like, I'm being serious. I think, didn't they invite you to compete?
They invited me to come compete and do team roping.
The horse wranglers, they were like,
I should have done that.
You should have.
Let's just say I'm good with the rope. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Lucas was the cowboy I always wanted to be, and we began to pursue this like cowboy lifestyle, and we learned how to take care of the horses and ride them and groom them and saddle them up and bridle them and do all the work that a cowboy would.
And that's so rewarding.
So rewarding because you bond with these animals, you bond with one another, and then so we get to
it's disciplinary as well.
Absolutely. So every day, so we would do cowboy camp, we would do rehearsals, we'd do fittings, we would go film.
Yeah.
And I loved our cowboys. I loved our horses. Yes. It was a wonderful chapter of my life. I truly think that Ransom Canyon is the greatest thing that's happened in my life, and I liken it to.
The same thing.
It's true.
Yeah.
I liken it to the greatest thing that's ever happened, aside from the fact that I wake up breathing every day.
Amen.
You know,
yes.
Because it brought you into my life. It brought Jack and April and Drew and so many people into my life, and I can't wait for people to see this show.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna love it.
What do you think they're gonna take away from it, if anything?
I hope that they take away the fact that your dreams are valid and worth pursuing. That love is real, that love is worth seeking. And
it gets you into trouble, as seen throughout.
Yes.
But
love can be messy.
Yes.
Love can be dangerous, but love can be rewarding. And there is community around you should you choose to find it. You know? What do you think that audiences could take away from our show?
I hope that it is, I think there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. I think if anything, I would love if people would just view this as like, I mean, it's just our little slice of Texas. It's like our little, like it's in this town where, you know, the biggest things that happen in this town are just like what is happening in this town. And so I think that it's kind of like an escape almost, like escapism. And so I think that hopefully it can be like a warm cup of tea.
I really feel a warm hug from this show. Whenever I think about it, whenever I watch it, I hope that audiences feel the same way, receive that slice of life and that bit of escapism in the world of Ransom Canyon, because it's a rich world and these characters are rich and they're deep and the words are meaningful and the world is beautiful. And I hope that people get to see that within our show as well. What are you proudest of in Ransom Canyon Season 1?
I love our scene on top of the car. I think that's...
You elevated that in such a great way, too. It was your idea to lay down on the car, look at the stars. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, really? I don't even remember that.
Yes, it was your idea.
Blacked out, No, but like, I think that that's so, like, something about it is just so human between us in that scene is we're both have, you know, stuff going on in our lives. And we're both dealing with stuff, and like, you know, we have like some hiccups in that like whole discussion, but at the end it's like, oh my God, we are.
What prevails is the love.
Worth, our love in the show is worth fighting for, and I think that.
And I run across the square, and you almost hit me with your car. The rain starts pouring.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's just so like so sweet, and and there's an Easter egg in that scene.
There is.
Do tell.
Okay. So our lovely leading lady, Minka, is
Yes.
dating a very talented singer-songwriter.
You might know him. He's like, yeah, you might know him.
He's the lead singer of Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Dan Reynolds, very talented. And his very talented daughter wrote a song that Minka then played for our showrunner, April.
Just on a whim.
On a whim.
Yeah.
And April loved it so much that she decided to put it into the scene where I'm running across the quad.
And Dan scored it.
And
you
Dan
see
scored
him,
it.
like you hear him singing like in the background. It's like this like elevating, like, right?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I think that goes back to the fact that the love that we have within the Ransom Canyon world exists in our life as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's community, it's family.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we get to collaborate with our community and our family in that way for the show as well is really meaningful and cool. And I think that it's a beautiful song and a beautiful way to like collaborate with one another and each other's families. And you made my job so easy on this show because the love that I have for you is the love that Lucas has for Lauren. And so I got to show up and be true and honest every day. And it's the easiest job I've ever had.
Thank you,
It was the best.
Thanks, Garrett.
Same with Drew and same with Minka and Josh.
Talk about like the bromance that you formed with Jack and Drew, because I know that they are like
the boys. The boys.
Brothers now.
I mean, we're all going to be in each other's weddings, you know?
Yes.
That's how much these people mean to me.
I tell Garrett all the time, I'm like, you are going to be a bridesman in my wedding.
And you're going to be a groomswoman.
I'm going to wear my suit. It's going to be great.
No, the bromance that we developed through Cowboy Camp, through filming, through living in New Mexico. I mean, we went to White Sands together, the national park. We did a 5-hour road trip.
And also the other thing is we are not wild people. We don't like party. We don't go do this. We don't do that. Like
we sit at home and we do art class
and we trade Pokemon cards. Like that's all we did during shooting. Like the only thing I think we did was just Top Golf one time.
Top Golf and Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, one time.
I did like my Fortnite. I did play.
Yeah, you became a big Fortnite.
But Lizzy,
fan.
you taught me how to draw. We would go to art classes on the weekends.
Yes.
She taught me how to draw using charcoal.
We still go. We went
Monday.
Yeah.
You are such a talented actress. You're such a talented singer. Don't let her tell you otherwise.
Likewise.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We both know. She always used to make me play Alexander Hamilton in One Last Time so she could play George Washington.
Okay, we both got our turns. Like the video shows.
Yeah, but you were better at it. Anyways. So
strike me down.
So you taught me how to draw. She's an incredibly talented artist on top of all these other things.
And what did you do during shooting as a wrap gift for the three of us?
I did make pieces for all of y'all.
So Garrett does amazing collage pieces as well. And for my birthday, he made me, we're talking this big, he made me like basically my life story. And it's like, it's such a nostalgic piece looking back on it, because when we both started the show, we were both kind of like going through it in life.
Ransom saved our lives.
Yeah, I think like we had just a lot of personal life stuff that when we entered the show, we were both kind of like just broken in our own ways.
It was unfinished, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's what we bonded over so much, is like we would have, we'd have like talks and like we'd just be always deep talks, always like
crying with one another over pasta.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's sawmill. Yeah, and so I think that this painting that he did for me is like basically accumulation and like this artistic representation of like the growth and healing that we both did and accomplished during the show. And I think that's also such a testament and such a like tell off of like the community that we all found in this show. Like truly, like you guys are all my best friends, and I'm so utterly floored and grateful that I was able to like find this community with you guys, because you never know what you're missing until you find it, until you like find your people.
I talk to Jack about this all the time. I don't know what I was doing before I met you.
I know.
I don't know what was I doing with my life?
Each of you guys like fit in my life so everyone has their spot, and it's like puzzle pieces, and I'm like, dang, I didn't even realize that.
And I think that's what's so captivating about Ransom Canyon, because you see that love represented on screen.
Yeah.
Just in different ways.
Yeah, but also like we throw in little Easter eggs. Like we had a ton of fun shooting. Like there's a time in like there's a scene. I'm not gonna say what it is. I don't want to spoil it, but like there's a scene where everyone's there, and you know some people's storylines never cross. Like me and Jack's storyline never crossed. Yeah. They ended up not editing out the scene, but there's like a moment where like me and Jack like look at each other and we start like laughing. It's not good because we're not supposed to know each other in that show. But he just was like.
Yeah. It's Ransom Canyon. Everyone knows each other.
But it's just like it's sweet. And I think that the friendship and the love will radiate through. I think that, you know, we all really do have true chemistry with one another. We're all friends. We're all like, you know, a family basically. And so I think that hopefully if anybody takes anything from the show, it's just that like the humanity and the love that went into making it. And like I hope that is felt by people.
And what parts of you being from Texas were you able to incorporate into our show in addition to the writers?
I love that. I love that question. As Texans, let's look directly in the camera. As Texans, I think there was a scene in the beginning where Josh.
Oh, this is treason. This was
bad. Crazy.
Okay.
I know. We both said something about that. There's an opening scene where Josh is supposed to pick bluebonnets to put on his son's grave. Nuh-uh. You don't do that.
That's
don't
illegal.
Do that. That is literally illegal.
It's illegal in Texas.
Literally, it's the only flower you can't pick in Texas. And so that was something that I think both of us were like, hey, by the way.
Yeah,
and then there were like, they used some old license plates for the car. And we were like, they don't use those license plates anymore.
But
and then,
can we talk about, just for a second, the greatest ice cream on the planet? Bluebell?
Bluebell ice cream.
Bluebell ice cream. Little episode 2 Easter egg in there, Bluebell ice cream.
Yes, and then, you know, in my room, I was talking to them about, you know, Lauren's obviously been to homecoming. She has to have like a homecoming mom on the wall, which is, again, only a Texas thing. No one else does that.
And also a little bit of Whataburger.
Yeah. Oh, and they were trying to tell us how you say it.
Whataburger. It's Whataburger.
They were like, it's Waterburger. I'm like, no, it's Whataburger. Like you were supposed to just like, when you say it,
Whataburger. I will say, being from College Station, small town in Texas, college town where Texas A&M is, I'm like a 4th or 5th generation Aggie. And the fact that we both want to go to UT in the show is a bit treasonous as well.
It's crazy because my dad went to UT and my mom was an Aggie.
Yeah.
So I
House divided. Wait, so you
house.
got the horns, I got the giggle.
Yeah. yeah. I grew up having a Reveille stuffed animal.
Reveille? I love Reveille. For those of you who don't know, Reveille is
the mascot.
The mascot.
It's the mascot.
So, do you believe in soulmates?
Yeah.
Do you believe in platonic soulmates?
Yeah, I think you have a romantic soulmate, and I think you have platonic soulmates.
Do you think that you have multiple romantic soulmates and multiple platonic soulmates?
No, just one.
One of each.
I think you have one romantic soulmate, and I think you have like people that will be in your life forever. Yeah.
I believe in soulmates. I believe that you can have multiple, and I can affirmatively say you are one of mine.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Platonic. So no one out there makes it weird.
She's got a boyfriend.
Garrett is an eligible bachelor.
We'll chat about that.
You say no comment.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment. I'm Garrett Wareing.
I'm Lizzy Greene.
We're here with ODDA Magazine for Ransom Canyon Season 1.
Oh, duh.
Oh, duh.
Oh, duh.
And I hope that you all enjoy our show that we are incredibly proud of, and thank you all for watching.
Thanks so much, dude.
Wait, we should play our game.
Wait,
what the hell is this? This is terrible. Wait, let's play our game. You ready?
Okay. End it with this.
Yeah. Woo! It's so stupid.
I know. Okay, bye!
Ow!